Salvete omnes. It's great to be together. I am going to make short videos right now for my 8th grade students that need to catch up to their classmates. And since I last made videos, I now work at a school that uses ecclesiastical pronunciation. So if you've watched some of my other videos or you're teaching at a different place that uses classical pronunciation, you're going to find some differences here, okay? The grammar of it and everything, the book is the same, it's just a different pronunciation. I'm not going to go into that right now in this video, what the differences are, but you could look that up. But I wanted to make shorter videos just to explain the concepts so that you can watch a quick video and then do the exercises that I've assigned you for that day. So let me explain our textbooks right now. So we have 2 textbooks. We have what's called our Henle textbook. It's purple. And then we also have a grammar book. Okay, we're going to use these 2 things together. In fact, you're always going to read your lesson in here. So, for instance, here's lesson number 1. You're going to read the lesson, and when it says turn in your grammar book, you're going to do that. You're going to turn in the grammar book because they want you to learn the paradigm or the forms that correspond with this lesson. Okay, so let's start. I want you to turn in your purple book to lesson 1. It's on page 6. And I would like you to pause this video and read page 6. Now, I hope when you did that, when you got to assignment and it says memorize the declension of terra, you opened your grammar book to number 31. Now, it's a little bit tricky. It's not page 31. So number 31 is actually on page 5, and it will say number right there. Okay? Before you go any further, though, I want you to read page 4. It tells a lot about noun and noun declensions. I'm going to explain a little bit about that. But go ahead and read page 4, and then your job today is to memorize terra, terre, okay? And I'm going to explain that right now. So, nouns are put in families, okay? And the families are known as declensions, okay? That's just another name for a family. So we have noun declensions. We're actually going to learn 5 noun declensions. This week, we're just going to do the first declension, okay? Now here's our model noun. Okay, I'm going to write it out here. Terra, and then the vocab will do a. Okay, or it might write out the whole second part. And I'm going to tell you what these 2 parts are. Okay, this is the nominative and the genitive. Okay, I love color, so I'm going to get some color going here. Let me use blue. Okay, we know this is a first declension noun because the genitive singular ends in AE. All nouns whose genitive singular end in AE belong to the first declension. Okay, now let me show you how to decline a noun. Okay, when I say to decline a noun, that means to write out a noun in all its cases and number. Okay, so in Latin there's 7 cases, but we're only going to work on 5 right now. Okay, and here are the cases. I'm going to try to fit them under here. Okay, so nouns have a gender, number, case, and declension. So number is singular and plural. Okay, and then the 5 cases that we're going to learn right now are the nominative, the genitive, the dative, the accusative, and the ablative. And I'm pretty sure that on my video here, it doesn't go down that far. So let me see if I can, I can't really get it down that far. So I'm gonna erase this and get it up a little bit higher. Okay, so here we're going to do terra, terre. I'll write it out. Sometimes we don't remember, we don't always write out the whole second word. First declension because the genitive singular ends in AE. And now we're going to make our declension chart. Okay, so we have singular and plural. Okay, and I wonder if you can remember what the 5 cases are without me telling you. Let's see, they are nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. Okay, so we're going to kind of draw lines to keep everything organized here. And you'll notice that your first exercise, they're going to ask you to decline all the words in the vocab. And you're going to do it just like I'm doing with terra, terre, which is our model first declension noun. So, okay, we always take this first one and we put it in the nominative singular right there. Okay, that's where the first one goes. Then we can find a stem. Okay, now to find the stem of any noun, you go to the genitive singular and you take off the ending. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to just write my stem down, which is terror, T-E-R-R. I'm going to write it in every spot. And then I can add my endings. Now we say Latin is an inflected language because it's all about stems and endings. And the endings change by the determination of the job the noun does in the sentence. Okay, so let's go. Now I like to sing things. You're in 8th grade, you probably don't want this, but it just helps me to remember. So the endings, if you look in your grammar book on page 5, number 31, the endings for the first declension are a, is, as, is. So I'm going to put that up. So we have with a macron, is, as, is. So that's how you decline a word, okay? So now we can say the whole word together. Terra, terre, terre, terram, terra, terre, terrarum, terris, terras, terris. Okay, and you can do that for any of these first declension nouns. Okay, now let's talk just a little bit, okay, and the book does this also, the grammar book, about what these cases mean, okay? So a case kind of means like a job. What job is this word going to do in the sentence? Okay, and we're going to go in more depth in that as we introduce the jobs. But just for now that you know, the nominative is the subject case, genitive is the possessive, dative is the indirect object, accusative is the direct object, and the ablative is the object of the preposition. Okay, so as you do exercises 1, 2, 3, and 5, you're going to be working with this paradigm, okay, this form. Okay, so in exercise 2, it says, tell what forms these are and give the meanings. Okay, so when they say tell what forms they are with nouns, what they mean is they want you to say, oh, this is genitive singular, okay? But you're going to notice that sometimes there's more than one answer. Because look, we have AE here, we have AE here, and we have AE here. So you're going to want to list all 3 of those when that's the choice, okay? So you would say, oh, they say, oh, terre, tell the forms and translate. Okay, genitive singular. And if you look how to translate it, of the land. Okay, also dative singular, to, for the land. But also nominative plural, and if you go there, the lands. Okay, now Latin doesn't have any words for or the, So you supply whichever one you choose, or if you simply don't think it needs an or the, you can leave it out. Okay? Instead of I love the God, you could just say I love God. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Now let's talk a little bit about gender. So as I've said, nouns have 4 characteristics. It has declension, gender, number, case. Now remember, this is number, singular or plural. The cases, okay, there's 7, but we're only working with 5. And then gender. So gender is the 3 choices: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay? So in Latin, in English we say, oh, if it's a girl, it's female. If it's a boy, it's male. And anything else is an it. It'd be neuter. But that is not the case in Latin. Okay? So yes, every feminine being is feminine and every masculine being is masculine. So like a mother would be feminine, a king would be masculine. But all the other things might be feminine, masculine, or neuter. Okay, so this is an example. The word for desk is also first declension. Mensa, mense, it's feminine. Okay, so we have some rules that are going to help us learn the gender of the nouns. So I'm going to erase this real fast, okay, and then I want to give you a few rules to help you, because when you're memorizing nouns, you always want to memorize the nominative and the genitive and the gender of the nouns. Now this book doesn't give us the gender, which is very unfortunate, but it does give us rules to help us learn the gender. Okay, so I'm going to write our model back. Terra, terre. Okay, that's our first declension model. Okay, so the first gender rule we call natural gender. Okay, natural gender, we can abbreviate it NG, okay? And that is the rule I told you. If a noun names a masculine being, it's going to be masculine. If it names a feminine being, it's going to be feminine, regardless of anything else. That is like the first rule we always apply to nouns. Now the second rule has to do with, so most first declension nouns are feminine. Okay, and we can abbreviate that 1DF. Okay, unless natural gender, it comes into play. And here's an example in this lesson, lesson number 1. The word for sailor is nauta, naute. Okay, and in Roman times, sailors would have been men, so it is actually masculine. Okay, but all the other words in lesson 1 are going to be feminine, because most first declension nouns are feminine. Okay, so that's just a important thing for you to know. Okay, and now another thing I want to talk about, the last thing for this short video, is noun-verb agreement. Okay, so Henle is going to give you some verbs. Okay, he's going to give you some singular verbs and some plural verbs. He's not going to teach you verbs until lesson 9. Okay, now the important thing to know about subject-verb agreement is that if a subject is singular, the verb is going to be singular, and conversely is true. If the verb is singular, you are looking for a singular subject. So here's a verb they're going to give you, orant. Okay, he, she, or it prays. Okay, now if you can see this T, that means he, she, or it. Now look at this one, orant. Okay, this one ends in NT. That's the plural, third person. They pray. So let's talk about a sailor. Okay, hopefully sailors are praying. Okay, so we would have nominative singular, the sailor prays. But then if we want to make it plural, see, we're going to have nominative plural. Naute orant, sailors pray. So just remember that you're going to have, we call this subject-verb agreement. Okay, subject singular, verb singular, subject plural, verb plural. Okay, so now I want you to stop the video and you're going to do exercises 1, 2, 3, and 5. And if you have to rewatch the video, go ahead. Okay, all right. Valete discipuli.